come to order. We are now holding a meeting for the Deluxe Billington FFA chapter. Mr. Vice President, all our officers at their stations.
I shall call the roll of officers, determine if they are at their stations, and report back to you, Madam President. The Sentinel.
Stationed by the door.
Your duties there?
Through this door pass many friends of the FFA. It is my duty to see that the door is open at all times and that they are welcome. I care for the medium and paraphernalia. I strive to keep you comfortable and assist the President in maintaining order.
The Reporter.
The reporter is stationed by the flag.
Why by the flag?
As the flag covers the United States of America, so I strive to inform the people that in order that every man, woman, and child know that the FFA is a national organization that stretches from the state of Alaska to Puerto Rico and the state of Maine to Hawaii.
The Treasurer.
Stationed by the Emblem of Washington.
Your duties there?
I keep a record of receipts and disbursements just as Washington kept his farm accounts, carefully and accurately. I strive to encourage members George Washington was better able to serve his country as he was financially independent.
The Secretary.
Stationed by the Ear of Corn.
Your duties there?
I keep an accurate record of all meetings and correspond with other secretaries. Wherever corn is grown and FFA members meet.
The Advisor.
Here by the owl.
Why stationed by the owl?
The owl is a time-honored emblem of knowledge and wisdom. Being older than us, we might ask to advise you from time to time as a need arises. I hope my advice was always based on true knowledge and ripened with wisdom. Mr. Vice President, why do you keep a plow at your station?
Plow is a symbol of labor and tillage of the soil. Without labor, neither knowledge nor wisdom can accomplish much. My duties require me to assist at all times in directing the work of our organization. I preside over meetings in the absence of our president, whose place is beneath the rising sun.
Why is the President so stationed?
The rising sun is a token of a new era in agriculture. If we will follow the leadership of our president, we shall be led out of the darkness of selfishness and into the glorious sunlight of brotherhood and cooperation. Madam President, all officers are at their stations.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. The Secretary will now call the roll of members.
There are 6 members, 6 guests, and 1 advisor present, Madam President.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. FFA members, why are we here?
Practice brotherhood, honor agricultural opportunities and responsibilities, and develop those qualities of leadership in which an FFA membership possess.
May we accomplish our purposes. I now declare the meeting of the Deluxe Billington FFA chapter duly open to the transaction of business or attention to any other matters which may properly be presented.
Madam President,
The Vice President.
I move that our chapter build a catapult for the U.S. National Pumpkin Chunking Contest.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that we move the motion that we build a catapult for the Chunkin' Pumpkins contest. Is there any discussion?
Madam President,
The Treasurer.
Point of order.
Please state your point.
The person that takes motion is required to go first.
Madam President,
Vice President.
I think this would be a great idea to build a catapult for the U.S. National Pumpkin Chunking Contest because it will really get our names out there. Maybe we can even put a little FFA emblem on it and people will see it, and we can maybe get some more members to join our organization and we can maybe bring up our numbers. So please help me in passing this motion.
Madam President,
The Reporter.
I think this is a really good idea because it will show what our egg teacher is teaching us, and it will also give us a great idea for something that we could enter in a state fair contest as a woodworking project. So please vote me in passing this motion.
Madam President. The Sentinel.
I think this would be a great idea because who doesn't want to see pumpkins flying through the air? And I think it'd be a great idea because people could bring their own pumpkins to have chucked in the catapult. So please help me in passing this motion.
Madam President. The Secretary.
I disagree with the previous speaker. I think this is a terrible idea for doing catapult contest because nobody likes catapults. And where are we going to get all these pumpkins to? Where are we going to get all these pumpkins to be catapulted everywhere? Please help me move on this motion.
Madam President,
The Treasurer.
I agree with the previous speaker because I think that if we build a catapult, where are we going to get the parts to build it and make sure it works properly and it doesn't hurt anyone? Please help me fail this motion.
Discussion.
Madam President,
The Sentinel.
may I go get a drink?
Privilege denied.
Madam President,
The treasurer.
postpone. Till our
Yes.
next scheduled meeting.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded that we postpone this motion definitely till our next regular scheduled meeting. Is there any discussion?
Madam President,
Madam President.
It's the treasurer.
I think we should postpone to our next meeting because it will give us more time to think it through.
Madam
Madam
President,
President,
The reporter.
we don't have enough time to postpone this meeting to postpone this topic because the chunking contest is next month and we need to get started on building our catapult before it's too late. So please vote with me in failing this.
Madam President,
The vice president.
I think this is a good idea to postpone this motion because we do not know if we're gonna have enough supplies to build the catapult, and we don't know maybe if we'll even get anybody to be able to build it for us. So please help me in passing this postponement.
Madam President,
The second.
I agree with the previous speaker because, where are we going to get, supplies to build the catapult, and who is all going to build it, and when are we going to have time to build it, knowing that everybody is involved in sports, so please help me in failing this postponement.
The secretary.
I agree with the treasurer. I feel like this is a great idea to postpone it because we don't know if we're going to get enough pumpkins for this. And because you would need so many pumpkins, because so many people coming to help us, please help me in passing this postponement.
Discussion. Seeing none, we'll now proceed to vote on whether or not we postpone this motion definitely. All those in favor of postponing say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no.
No.
Postponement passes. A division has been called for. We'll now proceed back to the main motion stating that our chapter build a catapult for chucking pumpkins at the national contest. Is there any Oh, wait. All those in favor, please rise. Be seated. All those opposed, rise. Be seated. There are 3 in the affirmative and 2 in the negative. Division passes.
Madam President,
The secretary.
I move that we have a apple bobbing contest.
I call for order for the day.
The orders of the day have been called for. We will now proceed back to the main agenda.
Madam President,
The reporter.
I move that our chapter provide refreshments for all of the voting officials at official voting precincts on election day.
Second.
It has been properly moved and seconded that we hold refreshments for the officers on Precincts Day. On the precincts. Is there any discussion?
Madam President,
Madam President,
The reporter.
I think this is a really good idea because then we would have our name out there in the community more, and then people would know that we are a positive club, and people would realize that and give us more support and money for things that we would like to do in the future. So please vote with me in passing this.
Madam President.
The sentinel.
I agree with the previous speaker because, we could definitely get our name out to the, voters, and we could, and it would, help us out and definitely earn, or get us money to put in our, savings, so please help me in passing this, motion.
Madam President,
Treasurer.
I think this is not a very good idea because where are we gonna get the refreshments to provide and how are we gonna have enough people to go help provide them? Please help in this motion.
Madam President,
The secretary.
I agree with the previous speaker. Where are we going to get these refreshments? And we don't know what kind of allergies people have, so we're going to have a big variety of refreshments, and we might not have enough money for that. Please help me in filling this motion.
Madam President,
Vice president.
I disagree with this motion because a lot of our MFFA members are in clubs and other sports and activities, and I don't think we'll have enough time, and it may be just a waste of time for them to miss out on those other activities that they're dedicated to, so please help me in filling this motion.
Discussion.
Madam President,
The sentinel.
I move to amend this motion by adding "and all voters" to the, President's Day.
It's been properly moved and seconded that we amend this motion by adding "and voters," so that if the amendment passes, it will read as "we serve refreshments to the officers and voters at Receiving Day." Is there any discussion?
Madam President,
Is that no?
I think this is a great idea because we will be helping out the other voters, and it would be time to give them refreshments as well as the please help me in passing this movement.
Madam President.
Secretary.
I feel like this is a great idea because people and voters and officials both get very thirsty during this, and we would like to get our name out for FFA. Please help me in passing this movement.
Madam President.
The treasurer.
I disagree with the previous speaker because if we can't give the refreshments to the election, then we won't have enough for everyone, and now we'll just add more people to provide refreshments.
Madam President.
Reporter.
I think this is a really good idea because the voters are the people that support us, and the voting officials aren't around as much as the people that are voting, such as like our teachers and things. And they do so much things for us as our FFA chapter and us as individuals. I think it'd be a really good idea to support them and give back to them. So please vote with me in passing this amendment.
Madam President,
The Vice President.
I disagree with this amendment because, as one of the previous speakers said, we barely have enough help for just the electing officials. But if we add even more people, we won't have enough help to feed all of them and give them refreshments. So please help me in favoring this amendment.
Madam President,
The
I
Secretary.
move to a previous question.
The previous question has been called for. We'll now go back. The previous question has been called for. We'll now vote on the amendment. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no.
No.
Amendment passes. We'll now proceed back to the main motion that states our chapter hold refreshments for officers and voters at the precinct.
Madam President,
The Vice President.
I move to lay this motion on the table.
Second.
It has been properly moved and seconded that we lay this motion on the table. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no.
No.
Lay on table passes. We will now proceed back to the main. Madam Secretary, do you have any further record of business that may now properly be transacted?
I have none, Madam President.
Does any member know of any new or unfinished business which may properly come to this meeting? We are about to adjourn the meeting of the Lax Burlington FFA chapter.